So yeah, I think that's hella cool. My problem is I don't know what we're calling it, guys. Is it ooze? Is it goo? I mean, is it his flesh? Because technically he's incipient, and that's exactly what it is. It's an extension of him. I don't know, but if you know, let me know down in the comments. But without further ado, welcome to Reviews from the Six. My name is Cedric, but you can call me Ceddy Said. And as you see here today, we are reviewing Venom, the Lethal Protector, issue 1 of 6. So first things first, you see the cover art here, and yes, that is one of the main reasons why I added it to my collection. Another reason why I added it to my collection was that I saw it in the comic book store for about like $300, and I thought it was the same price, but it's not, you know, authenticity and all that stuff. Anyways, whatever. But I want to show you guys a little bit of art because that's why I want to start off, right? Because you're here for the story and you want to see what it looks like, right? So to me, I was actually surprised with the art, and I'm glad it flipped to this page because I think that's the best part of this comic, is that the transformation of Eddie Brock to Venom. I mean, you can say the same thing about, you know, the Spider-Man issues too, but that's what I just liked. And I kind of like some of the combat scenes here, as you see on the first page here. Now, they did introduce a couple new characters to me that I really didn't know about, but I'm glad I did, because now when I'm going down my rabbit hole of comics, I can kind of reference those, right? So, for example, we already know we have our usual suspects, right? We have Peter Parker and we have Eddie Brock. Eddie Brock being Venom and Peter Parker being Spider-Man, of course. But then we end up having a character named Hugh, a character named Roland Treese, and then the squad leader Elkins. Now, they really don't play a big role in this comic here. Treese does though, and I believe the leader Elkins, which it kind of gets muddled in the story here, which we'll get to when we start talking about the final fight scene, right? The boss fight scene. We'll get more detail in that, but I kind of think that was Elkins in one of the Treese suits that he built, right? But long story short, this story takes place in San Fran, where Eddie Brock is from. He moves back home from New York, which there's a little bit of time in New York too when you get to Peter Parker, and we'll get right into that when we get into the story, but just bear with me, y'all, right? But anyways, so Eddie Brock goes back home. He's like, you know what? I just got to get away from New York, man. The symbiote too. You know, the symbiote felt rejected by Peter Parker, right? And then Eddie Brock feels like Peter Parker sabotaged him, because at one point he was like the biggest journalist in New York, and then Peter Parker came and he started doing this whole Spider-Man ploy, right? Oh, I got pictures of Spider-Man. I know Spider-Man. I can have him come. I'm gonna hook you up. Photoshop here, Photoshop there, sneak photo here. So now Eddie Brock is feeling a certain type of way, right? So is Venom, right? But here's the kicker part to it, is that the reason why he's in San Fran is because him and Peter Parker made a pact. Peter Parker, or Spider-Man, helped save Eddie Brock's wife. And the pact was, hey, we'll stay out of each other's way. You go do your thing, I'm gonna do my thing. Bygones be bygones, good luck, have a good life. But it was, hey, you know what? You gotta stay out of trouble too. As long as you stay out of trouble, I don't care. Right? So my man Eddie's like, bet, I'm going back home. We going back to the Golden City, San Fran, right? However, he gets to San Fran and he noticed that it's not the same as it was, that through the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s, you don't had all type of riots, and you don't have the crack epidemic and all that stuff. So his city isn't looking the same anymore. So now he's on patrol. He's like, you know what? I got these new abilities. I want to change my life around. It's time to start protecting the people. So now he's kind of like Spider-Man, but in San Fran, no. So instead of being in New York, he's in California. So it's like a West Coast vibe, right? Like even with the lingo, you can kind of hear the way he talks, you know? I was just like, oh, okay, that's the West Coast for sure. But anyways, so, you know, he's looking around his block. All right. So the first instance that he run into is he saves a potential rape victim. Now that story, I mean, the message behind that, I get it, but at the same time too, it was kind of like they could have used any type of situation. So they were trying to tell you that even though Venom is saving people and he's there to help, they still fear him because of the way he looks. Even though he has jokes, even though he's funny as all day, they're still like, get away from me. You're the attacker, right? You're the problem of this. So as this is going on, a tourist takes a picture. takes a picture and goes, you know what, we're gonna make a lot of money out from this. So y'all remember how Peter Parker used to make his money, like I said, with the whole Spider-Man employees, right? So this tourist sends the picture in to every publication he can think of, right? Guess who ends up seeing it? Yeah, Peter Parker, Spider-Man himself, sees it. So now Spider-Man is like, yo. Now he just sees the picture. He doesn't know the backstory to it. So in his mind, he's like, look, I gotta go do something about this. Eddie Brock's a murderer, which I totally forgot, right? Eddie Brock's a murderer. And then he's like, Venom is still upset that I ditched him. And I know his thoughts and I know his true intentions. I need to go put a stop to this, right? So while this is going on, Brock is like, look, I gotta stay out of sight, man. I'm gonna go get me a little hotel room. I'm gonna post up. I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna do my thing. You know, nobody ain't gonna see me. I'm gonna stay low key. Nuh-uh. Too late for that, bro. Too late for that. While he's going into the hotel, the police see him. The police run up in there. Boom, 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 boom. They start throwing hands with each other. And that's what I mean, where they're kind of making them lighthearted. Because even though he's fighting with the police, he truly didn't want to. And he apologizes that it happening, right? So now he just looks like a total bad guy. He's beating up guys in the alley. He's beating up police. What's next, right? So as he leaves, he sees a bum getting attacked. Now, remember, he's in California, right? And the city isn't as profitable or as big as it was once was. So he stands up for the bum. So he starts beating up these dudes. Or these dudes start pulling out pieces, right? They pull out their heaters. Spider-Man hears a gunshot, right? He's in San Fran now. He hears a gunshot. He runs to it. He sees my man Venom in the middle of everything. He like, yo, what's going on, bruh? Like, you can't control yourself? They start throwing hands. The dudes start shooting at both of them, right? So now Peter Parker is like, yo, what? They shooting at me too? Nah, we gotta go. Let's handle this. So then he beats him up all by himself. Ultimately, right? So now Spider-Man looks back around to get some beef with Venom. Venom gone. Venom done escaped through a little sewer, and I forgot the name of that clan, but it's a clan. I think they're called the Council. There you go. They're called the Council. So Venom slips into the sewer. The Council's there. One dude is all upset. He's like, why you bring him into our house, dude? He's an alien. Like, look at his suit. I mean, you're talking to an alien. Like, no, get him up out of here, right? And while all that is going on, they're posting what just transpired on the news. So that's where this character named Roland Treese, he sees it. He places a call. Yo, let's get suited. Let's go take these dudes out, right? They ended up in the sewer. They end up locating Venom. Boom, boom. They start throwing hands. And I mean, it was so cool. So now what I like so much about the fight scene is that you can see the ooze or the goo moving on the back of Venom, because they had solar beams or solar cannon, something like that. But it tore him up, and he's just like, oh no, what's going on here, right? And I thought that was cool, because I've never seen that happen to Venom. I mean, yeah, you saw it with the bell and stuff like that in the series, but I mean, just to read it, I was like, yo, that was pretty dope, right? So the fight transpires. All of a sudden, the sewer or the ground underneath them collapse, right? It collapsed. And at that point, I don't want to ruin the story for you guys, but they're no longer in Kansas. And that's where the story ends, and it's to be continued. So with that being said, that really made me want to go ahead and pick up the remaining 5 issues of this series. I mean, come on. And if they look like this, they're definitely going to stay in the collection. But you know what? If you made it this far, down in the comments, let me know what you thought about this issue, what you thought about the series. Do you want to see more of this type of content? Just come talk to me, y'all. What's going down? Also, your vibe attracts your tribe. Hit that subscribe button and join. It's free, right? Hit that like button. If you don't hit the like button, YouTube won't think you like this material, and it's not going to share any of it with you. So go ahead and hit that like button. Also, hit that thumbs up, hit the bell. Make sure the notification on so you don't miss any future uploads and the future content that'll be released. And make sure you share this video to any and all social media platforms, especially to someone that you think this would be interesting to. With that being said, peace, love, and blessings.